welcome back to Quantum Black, episode 10. We missed a week, but we're just launching into a little story arc here as our party has basically gotten a bounty on their heads. And so they are being sent slash leaving on their own volition, because it is one of their job assignments, to go to the Antarctic, to a dig site where potentially there's alien tech. And so, doing a quick recap, the party was in their safe house in Portland when they were attacked by some bounty hunters, and they've gone over to the coast where they wrapped up little bits of loose ends, and now they are about to board a cargo plane for Quantum Black to get them, hopefully safely, out of the United States for the next little while. So, we have our party. We have Zigzag with his Zigbot that is now under his control. We have Amber. We have the Dr. Desdimona. We've got Morthos, and of course Jess and her trusty sidekick Tori. So
Amber all decked out in new gear with all her silenced weapons.
Absolutely, yes. So, for requisitions, I think we went over a couple of those. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to requisition before taking off and heading over to the Antarctic? You're going to a base manned by the UN.
I was thinking about it, and I want some hand warmers that I can still use with touchscreens.
I think that's covered with your cold weather gear that the doctor got you in Russia. Which you do have, because Tori grabbed all your belongings before the safe house blew up.
Excellent. I need to be able to change the song as I sit in my hammock, you know.
So we have everybody kind of boards the Quantum Black airplane. Zigzag, it's a cargo plane. Are you trying to bring your van? Or do you want to just stow it here in Portland?
My van's not going to be good on ice.
Maybe you could ask Quantum Black for a specialty van for the mission.
Snow tires.
So I believe, Morthos, I think you did use your administration to try to request a vehicle. And if I look back, it looks like you got 4 successes? You rolled a couple administration checks, and I don't remember what they were for.
I don't recall either. I just remember someone wanted something, but then you had asked me if I wanted to roll for them, basically, because I hadn't asked for anything. So my chances would be better, but I don't remember what the thing was.
I feel like it was for a vehicle, because I know Amber requisitioned, her silencers came in, but you're making a new requisition, and I think it was like armor-piercing rounds or something. That's what I'm seeing in the chat here.
Because we've been coming across so many of these freaking robots.
Well, now you have the turn-off codes, so that's
we do. Better. It should help a lot.
Okay. For Zigzag and Dr. Desdimona and Jess, is there anything that you all wanted to requisition, or do you just want to board and get there?
I believe Amber also requested some EMP grenades.
Yeah, I'm seeing the results of all these administration roles, but I don't remember what they're for.
I think my admin was for some good old, really good cold weather clothing.
That's right. You got your own cold weather because you didn't have any in Russia. So the 4, I remember that was successful. For Fox, you rolled a 1, and then you rolled a 4. So I think that... Do you have armor-piercing rounds on your character sheet?
Let me pull up Amber here and take a look. Are there any new emails that we need to know about, or no?
No, I haven't had time to go through anything, to be honest.
Okay. Figure it out as to save time. She got her heat sensing goggles from her previous things. I don't. Does not look like I have the armor piercing rounds yet.
Okay.
Actually,
If I, oh sorry.
would I be able to requisition some of those for myself, just in case?
Armor piercing?
I thought we deal with so many people that have body armor and people and the robots, so it's good for both.
So
I'm
just
talking
what's,
about the heat sensing goggles.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
if you want to use that, I don't see a requisition check from her yet, so you can go ahead.
Sweet.
So it'd be admin and then plus your rank, which is I think level 1, so you get a +2.
Administration.
Amber's got these special night vision heat sensing goggles that you can switch between the two.
By the way, when it comes to movement, I'm gonna have some trouble on the small screen. I just rolled a 2.
Okay. I can help you with your token if you need it. Doctor?
Yeah, that's just further in the game.
Sure. Was there anything that the doctor was going to say?
If I remember correctly, I requested a boost for Tori, and I boosted the artifact. So I don't think I can actually make any more
Right.
requisitions.
That's true. So we already actually
But
gave Tori experience, and then
right.
for Amber, did we? I think I did update your
Yes.
stats, and you have like a much wider range for it now. So yes, that's true. Good
And
call.
I think it goes up to D8. You said, or plus. It's either +6 or +8. I don't remember.
It should be +4s for the tech, and then it has a wider range, so you can do it from distance, basically. So the bonus shouldn't have increased any more than it did, because you leveled it up yourself too, and then the doctor increased it even further. I'm trying to find out where all my files are. Did all my files go away? Does anybody have character sheets anymore? Oh, never mind. It's because I've got a search in my tag. That's fine. I was searching something and it like made everything go away. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. So if all housekeeping is over or anything else,
I know that I can't really make a requisition, but is there any way that I could possibly get like maybe another 40mm grenade or something?
is there anybody in the party who hasn't made a requisition?
I'm all for requisitioning explosives.
Okay.
Other than that one requisition I did, I can.
You guys want to have
see it.
Tori make a requisition for that for you? Because Tori has a not gone, I don't think. So if you want to use his, he has, or he's supposed to have a rank in Quantum Black. He would. So
Yeah.
you can requisition Shorty 40. Pretty okay. So, with that, the airfield over in, I guess it would be Astoria in Oregon, there's a signature cargo plane, just kind of not hovering, but like just waiting on the runway, ready to go taxi to the airstrip and launch. And you all drive up in your vans that you've utilized. Zigzag, are you just leaving yours in the hangar, or do you want to try to drive it into the cargo ship?
I'll leave it behind.
Okay, so you just
I'm
kind
taking my gear though, you know.
Yeah. So you unload now your Zigbot. It's private enough. It's kind of like early morning and not many people around. But are you having him still wear like clothes and stuff? Or what's he dressed like?
I don't think I ever put clothes on him. I think he was a straight bot.
Oh, right. That was the one Jess put on the other guys. Right.
And I took the clothes off because Tori needed them due to him lacking luggage.
Yeah, and you left those other bots for Green, I do remember. So.
Yep.
So you just kind of carry all your gear up onto the cargo plane, and it takes off. It is piloted by a drone, the aircraft. There is no physical pilot in the ship this time around.
That sounds terrifying.
Agreed.
Tori? Could you go sit in the front, just to make sure this robot isn't stupid?
Yep. So he goes in. There's
Uh,
no.
I, I will. Amber volunteers.
Yeah, so Tori would kind of follow Amber, but kind of let you definitely take the lead. And as you get into the cockpit, you can see there's no actual like robot there in the controls. There's just like a
Oh.
massive computer setup with
Hey.
wires and stuff.
Adrian, as a side note, can I graffiti the plane before we get on?
What do you want to graffiti it with?
I think I want to start doing a kill count on like one of the wing planes.
Okay. How many do you put?
She probably would have a better track of how many people we've killed on this, so I'm just gonna say whatever she puts
Okay.
on.
She's kind of like thinking about it for a moment, and then just with this large paintbrush, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across.
I'm rolling art for this because I want it to be pretty.
Sure.
Like...
Okay. You're balancing
like
at
Roman
the
numerals.
you're balancing at the top of the ladder to kind of reach up high enough, and it's kind of like almost tipping over as people are boarding, and you're doing it, but you're also balancing time between it's about to take off soon and you want to get it finished. So you do a pretty good job. It's okay.
I just wanted to graffiti it and it also be a marker for like whenever we see the plane that this is on it, you know?
Okay, so like to track if
I
this
just
is the
imagine
same one.
it's like little stick figures with cross eyes.
It's probably the Chinese numeral system, not the American one. Is what I'm imagining her putting on.
That would make sense. In fact,
Yeah.
style point because you're using your Chinese background.
Yay!
So
Sorry, I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah, no, that's fun. So as you go into the plane, it's set a little bit more for like a longer flight. There are a couple benches which almost look like just like chairs removed from like a van and bolted to the ground and stuff. So it's kind of not super luxurious, but there's accommodations for the fact you're about to go on a very long flight. As you go into the cockpit, there is no actual person there. There's no robots there except for this kind of mess of wiring with a central computer that's been kind of like automated. So it's being flown by drone essentially, potentially by either an AI or by just remote. So Amber, you sit down. There's 2 open seats, the pilot and co-pilot, but all of the dashboard is just kind of like covered with a bundle of wires, and it's kind of a mess. If you want to roll electronics, you can try to start to sort it. But as you are doing so, the engines whine, and you feel kind of the lurch back a little bit as it's beginning to taxi and lift off into the air of the morning sky.
That's +4 electronics with the screwdriver.
Mm-hmm. And the screwdriver,
Basically.
it has kind of a new crystal, which goes kind of on the tip of it. So instead of it being its normal, I believe it's blue. The one that's been waiting here from the requisition from the doctor is actually a clear crystal, and it begins to emit light as you are kind of examining the wiring, and kind of gives you, it's almost like a flashlight now at the same time while you're doing your investigation. And you can tell kind of that, yes, this is being flown by an AI for a drone. So it's not like someone back at Quantum Black is driving it for you. It's like a pre-programmed flight path that's trying to just take you there without any personnel needed. So
I would like to
always best to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I would like to look for parachutes. That way, like, if anything happens, I don't have to fight anybody for one of these later.
Yep. You can roll an investigation if you want to, but automatically you would find there's 10 parachutes kind of in lines, 5 on each, kind of like there's the cargo netting you can use for handholds above your head if you're standing up, and kind of mounted on the sides of all of those is a line of 5 on each side. So there's 10. And you are still welcome to roll an investigation if you wish.
Oh, okay. As I notice there's 10, I go, hey, look, there's even enough for Zigbot.
We just need one, put it on Zigbot, and then I strap myself to Zigbot.
Zigbot just hugs you.
You need like the like 3 parachutes for like spaceships. So the flight is long, and for anybody who is familiar with the Antarctic, which I'm not sure anyone specifically would be, so you're welcome to roll a, I guess that would be
Geography.
academics, or if you have a geography. Geography isn't actually a skill.
I would be honest, I thought you were asking like actually us if we had any information. I was gonna say nope.
Well, it would be
It's
your
probably
characters.
gonna get colder.
So academics, whoever is trying to like learn or think about where you're going, you can roll an academics check.
Sure, I'll roll my 1 academic.
Yeah, you're too busy to
All
even
she
like
knows is
think
it's
about that. You're just focused on the wiring.
Yeah, all she knows is the Arctic is cold.
So that
But-
wouldn't be like. Oh, sorry.
But she's more concerned of keeping this metal contraption in the air to get them there.
Would that be like basic academics?
Yes.
Okay. I'll throw a roll out there for kicks and giggles.
That's a really good roll.
So as you are flying, the doctor, just you are sitting down, or what is the doctor doing kind of as you kind of look around through kind of the rucksacks kind of bolted to the back of the chair as you find a couple things which I'll go over shortly. But how do you occupy like the hours of in time flight?
I don't know. I think I'd be like trying to like see what's really all in this cargo plane. If it really is just like us in here. I'd probably keep on peeking out like any like porthole or window to like see what's going on, how close we are, and stuff like that.
Okay, for sure. With your investigation roll, you do find that each chair, which there is, let's see, there's bench seats, 3 wide on each side, so that's 6, 12. There are 12 rucksacks, and most of them have like food supplies, like thermal blankets, stuff like that, emergency rations, and like if in case something happens, it's kind of like you could set up a base camp. In addition to that, you do find that there are 4 colored smoke grenades. You've got orange, green, yellow, and red. And then you have, there is, let's see, you rolled a 3. There's also a pump shotgun with lots of shells kind of in a like a belt bandolier that you could sling over. And there is a third thing, which is like a scanner radio. So those are supplies that are within the ship, or the plane.
Alright. I think I would start fiddling with the like scanner radio and maybe like look over at Zigzag and be like, "Hey, does your bot need a gun? There's a shotgun over here."
I mean, I assume my bot still has his rifle.
Yes, he has his rifle, but it is it's like a, what do I call it? It's like the Israeli Tavor. It's a Tavor. So he's got a nice bullpup rifle, 5.56 round. If you want him to be able to be equipped with a pump shotgun too, that's not a bad alternate weapon.
Rambo bot.
They took first one.
Okay, so I put down what you found in there. The academics, as you're kind of going through the thermal gear and stuff and the emergency rations and all that, you get to thinking where you're going in Antarctica. Yes, it's cold. In the very dead of night, it can get very cold. I think it's like over minus 40 degrees. I think at the worst of it, I think it gets even worse. But it can get very cold. Your suits should be okay. You all probably want to have like face masks, scarves type things as well to keep your nose and stuff, and goggles are better for that. You also know that because it's like around May right now, so that means that the Antarctic has 2 seasons, a winter and a summer, and they're both about 6 months long. May is the like second or third. I think it's the second month of it being dark. So you're going down to the bottom of the earth, basically. And as you are kind of going over that curve, and the drone is just kind of like piloting you in the quickest nonstop route high above the clouds, the light begins to just subtly dim and dim until it's nighttime. And the GPS is showing that you're approaching the runway, heading over to the base, and you'll be there shortly. It's a UN outpost, and all of a sudden I am opening up my notes. It is Wallace Station. With a 5, Dr. Desdimona would also know that during the nighttime, the 6 months, a lot of the countries who have little outposts here, bases, research stations, geology stations, kind of doing whatever research they're doing, they tend to like unstaff them over the dark months. They can't close them because of the rules where anything in Antarctica has to be like withdrawn out as well. So they usually leave like a couple crew members to like staff these little bases. But in the dark time, there's not really going to be anybody down here except for like their staff, emergency staff, who's in charge of keeping it occupied.
Okay, I would definitely tell the group that wherever we're going, it's going to be lightly manned. That there's not going to be like a lot of people. Like, it should actually even be odd that we're showing up. This is usually the time that people are leaving.
Yep. On that note, if you want to also roll another administration check plus your rank for Quantum Black, because now that you've been actually received your promotion, you have access to a couple more files. You have a super long flight, and you have time to like do a briefing, kind of educate everybody on everything that we just talked about. But additionally, you also look at the previous file for where this dig site's located, and what you find is for the Digsite Supernova, Quantum Black was here. I want to say it was either last year or the year before. I forget what I had written, but it's within the last 2 years. They were down here examining kind of the caves, and they suspected an alien ship had either crashed nearby or they had made some sort of base camp, but they couldn't find anything except the signature of kind of this frequency. And so the team that had been sent did not find anything worth retrieving. However, it was left as a note, like a location of interest. And the only other new notes that have been put in would be actually with you rolled a 9.
Yes.
With a 9, you'd note that it was actually edited by Green, and there's just a single sentence, and it is point of interest, Digsite Supernova, Amber, comma, Team Corvidae, question mark, artifact, period. And that's all that's noted on the file, and that was put in within the last like 2 weeks.
Okay. When I see that part of it, I think like a little bit of Ambrose's like callous, like, stone cold face, like would just kind of grin a little bit, like, you know, that Green's looking out for them. Um, and yeah, I'll definitely share any information that I gathered with the rest of the group.
Okay. So
Amber,
Go
is
ahead.
there anything notable that you can think of that we're gonna need to know for a possible alien spaceship?
Well, not entirely sure what exactly we're going to find here, but I do have a friend who had mentioned this place a couple times. They didn't really have too much info, but they said that I might be able to find something that others might not be able to.
Have anything to do with your fancy flashlight?
More or less.
Hmm.
What's Morthos doing during the flight?
He's probably just sitting, probably reading something on I don't know. I imagine he would kind of have like a little tablet handy. Would probably just be reading on that.
Okay.
I mean, Amber did bring you a book if you want that too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So as you're getting some light to heavy to insane reading done, you get a sense around the plane. Looking out the window, it's all not pitch black. Like you can see that there's kind of the outlines of clouds, but it's just dark shapes against a darker backdrop almost. And you get almost like the Spider-Man sense tingling of just something out there, something far below. The plane is smooth. The drone is flying it above any kind of storms that might be occurring, so it's nothing shaking in the plane, and you just get the sense that somewhere far below you is something very otherworldly. And this is about halfway through the flight. The feeling goes away, and you can see kind of the doctor looking around, rummaging through the backpacks, and kind of look around the plane for a moment.
Was it specifically like Morthos who felt that, or was it everyone?
No, it's Morthos. Nobody else has really been in tune with things the same way.
Would he have told us about this strange feeling he got?
He would.
Can I open up my phone maps and mark the location we're over right now?
Okay. Roll a electronics check.
Oh, lovely.
What's happening?
I suck at electronics. I'm not trained at electronics at all.
If you need assistance, give Amber a call.
Amber, Morthos feels weird. Track the location. It seems important.
With
How wonderful! I have more than one assistant.
With my earlier
Got it.
with my earlier academics, would I know that we're around Point Nemo?
As soon as Jess is pulling that out, and since you didn't even roll, Jess, your phone doesn't have any coverage and it's unable to do anything. However, when Amber comes over, she holds up the screwdriver, and the cabin's dimly lit, like it's a cargo plane, so it probably has like the kind of ambient red lighting. But all of a sudden, it's like a flashlight just kind of flares out and illuminates almost the whole thing. And then you get signal, and then you can see Amber just kind of like keying away on her phone and locating it. The doctor, as you kind of peer around and pay attention, you are above that specific point in the world, yes.
Okay. When Morthos states that she's having odd feelings, Desmond would definitely note that and tell her what he knows of Point Nemo.
Me and him?
For this location.
Yeah, that's what I was like, him?
Sorry. Long
No, it's confusing sometimes. I do this.
Me too. It's not just you.
I guess it wouldn't just be Morthos. He would just out loud say that we're around Point Nemo. It's the furthest location from any other humans. We're probably the closest thing to humanity to say like the interstellar space station right now, which is closer to us than any civilization. And that's only if it's passing by at the moment. I'm not gonna go into H.P. Lovecraft stuff because I don't really feel like Desmond might really be reading that kind of a thing. But
I just imagine Morthos chipping in with that part, though.
Do you want to roll a supernatural lore, or do you want to have?
Yeah, I like rolling things.
Okay. As the doctor is pointing out the coordinates, Morthos, you are familiar with kind of what he's talking about. You kind of realize that, yeah, this is probably a spot where otherworldly creatures or something very intense might dwell, but you're far above it, and so that kind of tingling that you sense, this almost magical presence, it does begin to dissipate, and as the cargo plane just continues on its path, it does eventually seem to go away, and you're all left kind of to yourselves for the remainder of the flight. And before you know it, you are flying over the continent of Antarctica. Yet the flight continues. You still have another several hours before you get to Outpost Wallace, or Station Wallace is what they call it. And from there, um, any final preparations you wish to do, you may do so. And if none, then you begin to.
Was any of the requested gear on the plane itself?
The gear that was on the plane was what the doctor found so far.
Okay.
Did the travel snow dog? I thought we requisitioned snow dogs. Is what I thought we requisitioned.
I believe someone mentioned that, but I don't think anyone. I think Morthos had put in a requisition for a vehicle, and I think that was what his first roll was, which turned
Yeah,
out to
because
be.
I think I rolled for a vehicle because someone was talking about doing a vehicle, but then like they had requisitioned a lot of stuff, so I think the dog sled idea was brought up because it was a hypothetically like, would that be easier for someone to requisition when we've asked for a lot of stuff?
So I remember what happened. So you were leaving, so I rolled on your character sheet. You rolled twice because the first time I forgot to add your rank modifier. So your actual roll for a vehicle requisition was a 3. So Quantum Black is going to try to get you a vehicle here on the other side. And for the doctor, with your administration check from previously, you know that Quantum Black has radioed in and is essentially told this UN outpost that Quantum Integrated Technologies is sending out a research team to retrieve something that was left at a dig site previously, and they're just going to be in and out and will not be a bother at all. And so you are to basically meet with the UN the caretaker. His name is Cooper, and he is your point of contact. As you all sit down, the plane begins to descend, and you hit kind of an icy runway. The drone lands fairly efficiently. It jostles a little bit, but it comes to a landing, and you find yourselves at Station Wallace.
Beautiful picture.
This is your
Getting
plane.
big vibes.
Here's your plane.
Oh, looks like we crushed some people on accident. Oops.
Those people
Oops.
are fake people. They do not exist.
Just mannequins.
It's Cooper's quote friends unquote because he's here all alone.
Oh, Wallace. Oh no.
So as your plane lands, the radio crackles and you can hear there's a lot of interference, but you do hear over the comms. Cargo plane, this is Derek Cooper, Wallace Station. State your business.
Amber would pass the thing to the doctor. You're up, Doc.
I would respond back. This is Quantum Technology Incorporated staff. We're here to continue with our operation.
You're welcome to head over. Careful, the temperature's dropping rapidly, but you can spend the night over here, and then we can get you equipped to get out in the morning.
Roger, Roger.
Okay.
I bundle up.
Yep. So, as you disembark, you all have cold weather gear now, so nothing is actually going to make you need to take saves so far. But even with your cold weather gear, going out in the kind of at night now at this point, the temperature's dropping well below freezing, well below 0 Fahrenheit, and so you cannot stay out here for very long. Just outside, you can see kind of the UN base of Wallace Station, and you can kind of cross over without needing to make any checks. But as soon as you kind of leave the confines of the warmth of either the station or a vehicle, you only have a matter of time before you begin to freeze. So, what would you like to do?
Is the plane okay being in this cold weather?
The plane should be fine.
Cool.
There's no organics on the plane.
Amber will grab one of the packs with survival gear and head on over to the station.
Okay. Amber, you feel the cold, blustery wind almost pierce through your jacket, but the thermals kind of pulse and you feel warmth from inside your specialized equipment. And you cross over to the entrance. And is anyone accompanying?
Yeah, I'll go with.
Yeah,
Yes.
Zigbot, lead the way.
As we're starting to head out, the doctor would look at Zigzag and go, maybe we shouldn't bring the robot into the UN camp. I mean, that could be bad. That could look really bad.
This plane isn't taken back off, right?
There's a runway. It can take off and stuff, especially since Amber kind of like got into the equipment. You can fly it like a drone if you wanted to, but it is not really designed to, like, it's got enough fuel once it
Well, I
refills.
meant it more so, is it planning on taking off after we all get out? Like, can I leave my robot here safely?
You can. It is piloted by kind of an AI drone from Quantum Black, so if you want to like put security in there, you might want to do something. Otherwise, the plane can be remotely flown.
Put a parachute on this boy.
Yeah, I care about my Zigbot. I'm gonna strap him up with a parachute and just have him, guard the plane from the inside.
I definitely think you should put real clothes on him. Make him look more
Yes.
fashionable. Though
Put some cold weather, like some regular cold weather clothes on him.
your particular clothes, yeah, no.
I mean, who's gonna check the plane? No one's gonna notice the bot.
Okay. So you leave Zigbot in the plane?
Sadly, yes.
Okay.
Put him in the co-pilot spot.
That's not a bad idea.
Buckle him up.
Okay. So Morthos, Doctor, Zigzag, Jess, Tori, I presume, will go ahead and follow.
Yep. With
Is
my
it-
bags, of course.
Yeah, Tori will hustle after, carrying all the bags. And he does actually pretty okay. As you all get to the front entrance, Amber, you see the door kind of slide open, very Star Warsy, and even it goes, and you see kind of a brightly lit hallway. There's a man in kind of a red fatigues and kind of cold weather gear, and he raises a gloved hand and kind of motions for you all to come in. Welcome to Wallace Station. He steps aside for you all to kind of come in. As you're all making the trek between the plane runway and then the station, you can all roll perception as well. So it looks like only Jess rolled a 3 or above, right? I don't see anybody else.
Morthos.
Morthos too?
I got 5.
Oh wow, he rolled a 5. Cool. So Jess and Morthos, you notice atop the station, there is a little red helicopter. Morthos, you also see a hangar door, which is kind of closed. Not big enough for an actual like plane, or it might be for a small plane, but it's more like a giant garage door. With a 5, you can see through kind of the windows that there are a series of other vehicles parked inside as well, which looks to be kind of a handful of snowmobiles and an SUV Jeep snowmobile. And those are inside the garage here. So Morthos kind of takes a longer look, kind of peering through, and you see those. But otherwise, nobody really sees inside the garage, but Jess does see the helicopter on top.
Can I point it out to Amber and look, hey, take a look at that, more flying mobiles.
Yep, you can notify the party of what you see if you wish. And same for Morthos if you wanted to.
Yes, I would point them out.
Good to know. We might be needing those later.
For now, let's try to not cause problems, unless, of course, we need to.
That's the ideal plan.
So the doors open in the UN, like tech basically lets you all in. Once the doors are all closed, he begins to take off his like super cold weather coat and stuff, and you can see he's kind of a middle-aged man, scruffy, kind of a reddish beard. He looks excited to see people's faces, and he seems to be fairly welcoming. And yeah, he shows you around the outpost. It's fairly large but unmanned. It's very empty, and you're all able to kind of set up a camp here for the night before you wish to go out. He looks into his packet as he's reviewing kind of what Quantum Black, or Quantum Integrated Technologies rather, had like sent over, and he says that you've been granted permission to use the snowmobiles if you want, but I'm not sure how far away your dig site is. You'd need to be able to get there and back before the temperature really gets too cold.
Do we know how far away our dig site is and able to figure that out?
From this station, it's probably about a day's travel or more, depending on what your transportation methods are. On foot, it'd be very long. On like a ground-based vehicle, it'd be about a day, and in a air vehicle, it would be like less than that, like a quarter of the time.
Do you have anything, above ground transportation?
Well, we've got the chopper, but we can't just give that out to people. That's for emergencies. Once the team comes back, they'll need it for like their own expeditions and stuff. But when there's just me here crewing it, there's nobody to stay here in the station, and quite frankly, you're not part of the UN. You're just well, contractors. Don't mind me saying.
I do have experience flying, if that makes it any better.
Yeah, experience and authorization are not quite the same things. I've got written like instructions to let you use the snowmobiles, but that's kind of all I can do. I can get you beds for the night. I've got enough provisions so like you can be here for a little while. I can refuel your plane. We got enough gas for that.
Do you have equipment for us to camp overnight outside in this particular weather?
I can try to get supplies for you. I can see. Don't recommend that though.
Exactly. So if what we're going to do without a chopper ends into an emergency, wouldn't it be better to prevent that before it even happens?
Oh yeah, for sure. Jess,
so we're using the helicopter.
Why don't you roll a requisition check? And this is going to be at a -2. That's going to be admin
requisition?
-2. Yes.
Eek. You mean ad administration?
Yep, it's admin -2.
Gosh, my admin is already it's only a 3.
I don't know. We probably should be requesting the SUV, because like we could stay warm inside there, and like you know, we're gonna get less, opposition.
Does the doctor bring that up? Because I'm pretty sure that my particular requisition isn't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, if he's like being like, "Oh yeah, not the helicopter," I'm gonna be like, "Well, that's good," but like if it's a day's trip on snowmobile, then by the time we get there, we're not even gonna have the time to like get back before we freeze. Could we use the SUV instead? At least we have a chance of staying warm.
Yeah, I think that might work a little better. You also roll a administration check. This is with no bonuses, as there's no penalty, but it is also a UN requisition check.
Amber will attempt to convince them for the chopper, so I will roll that administration -2.
Okay.
Like,
Then
and she's basically saying like, "Hey, I know this is a shot in the dark, but is there any chance you would let a former soldier pilot
so
take the chopper?"
go ahead and roll your check as well. He's already kind of reaching over and kind of flipping through one of the lock boxes to pull out the keys for the Jeep, and he pulls them out and he's gonna hand them over to Desdimona, and he's just wincing a little bit as you're saying. It's like, I want to help you out, but you're not even a UN staff. I can't just give out stuff like that. You can take the Jeep. I can, that's fuel is fuel on that end. That's not too big of a deal. Just bring it back. Yeah, I don't want to see you guys freeze out there. It's probably easier than trying to find out like cold weather camping stuff. Like, there's no point in that. You can just take the Jeep. Yeah. And he like hands the keys over to the doctor.
Doctor takes the keys and kind of nods, understanding.
Well, I think that's settled. So I can fix up some dinner unless any of you are better cooks. I mean, I can get by, but
Warm coffee.
Does Tori have a rank in housekeeping?
what would that even be?
I was just wondering that myself.
Right? I was like, is that a thing?
Time to
Like,
make a new
Um,
stat called housekeeping.
If he hasn't been, he needs to get some skill points in that, like yesterday, or like when we first met.
I'm gonna say that's kind of maybe what administration.
Would it be administration or would it be craft?
For cooking, yeah, it could be craft. Craft could be cooking, but like
Or
housekeeping would
science.
be administration. No, he's got a 1 for craft. He's an expert at ordering delivery.
I don't know. Secretly versus Jeff Ramsey's.
I don't think they deliver here.
Would science work?
That's more like the concept of cooking. So if Amber wants to give it a first try based off book smarts, I would say yeah. But you could roll a science maybe.
All right, here we go. We're gonna try science. How well?
Yeah, not terrible. So yeah, if you volunteer, you can head to the kitchen, kind of whip up a dinner. There's like some like dried pastas with like was it a freeze dried milk or something that you have to like use. I don't even know what recipe you'd be doing, but there's like just
She's
basically
using her
camping
military knowledge from having to cook in the field.
Yeah, so you whip out MREs or whatever, and everybody has a decent filling dinner. He seems to, the Derek Cooper guy, he wants to actually like sit down around a table and have like a sit down dinner with you all. That's kind of his perceived expectation. It's like he hasn't seen people for a couple months, so you're welcome to do so or not.
I think if Ambrose did, he would like be on like the far side of the table, as far away from him as possible, and just like sigh every time that he talked to him.
like, don't talk to me. But yeah, so it's that kind of like awkward setting where there's like this guy, and he's wanting to hang out with you and try to like get to know you all, strike up conversations, ask how things are back home, what it's like, and it just kind of goes by awkwardly for the rest of the day.
Amber will ask if the Jeep has a CB radio.
It has a radio, yes. It's specifically like to be able to contact back to the UN, but it's if something
That's
else.
basically the plan.
Yeah.
Is if something were to come up, then they need to bring the chopper.
Yeah.
Amber will also ask, do you know how to fly a chopper in the event of needing to give assistance?
I'm licensed, but it's been a long time since I've flown. That wasn't my like job in the normal turn during the summer. But I can if needed. So
that's at least something.
So for setting out, then you all have your own kind of like micro bunks and stuff, so you can all get a good night's rest. And when you wake up the next day, it's still dark out. The Jeep is fueled and ready to go. Tori is. Do you want Tori to go with you?
I was thinking he was going to.
Okay.
Like, how am I supposed to bring my bags with me? Who's gonna carry my stuff?
Okay, so.
But I might ask the team, like.
Yeah.
Okay, but this man has been like severely injured. How many times?
His token still says he is injured. Is that true?
Oh, dude.
I don't think so. I thought everybody got like healed.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dr. Desdimona is really good at healing during the long flight.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't, he'd be pumped full of stims, and I'm sure he's healed back to full. Okay, so you're all getting in the Jeep.
Yep.
So
how many chairs are there?
There's, I guess, 2 in the front, and then the bench seat, and then the trunk.
I mean, we can always put the robot in the trunk if that works, if there's room for him. And the bags.
Yeah. So just with your party as is, someone's gonna have to basically sit in the back without a seatbelt, like in the trunk area. Because there's 5 normal seats.
Well, is there a volunteer?
Nope, not me.
Yeah, unless someone wants to take a.
I feel like Amber will have to be on one of the seats so she could try to track with her alien device.
Mm-hmm. Tori actually, he might have an idea because he actually does have a lot of ranks in driving. He's gonna eye the snowmobile and he will volunteer to drive a snowmobile. At least maybe rotating drivers or something if it gets like too bad. But that way you have 2 vehicles in case one overturns or something happens, and that way you're not squished.
Tori's so smart.
Yeah.
If there's no objections, he's gonna jump on one.
We'll put the robot in the trunk then, if we've got the room for it.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to leave the robot for now.
No, I want my robot. I
Okay.
want Zigbot.
Oh!
I'll have a Zigzag roll stealth, just because the guy's not specifically like watching like you head out, so you could circle back and pick up something from the cargo plane, no problem. But just because you never know, if you can roll stealth for me.
Sure.
Can I give him pointers on rolling stealth to give him advantage?
Are you driving the Jeep?
Or could we, drive the Jeep up?
Yeah, just take the Jeep back. And if he asks, let him know that we're just picking up some gear for the thing.
Sure.
That works.
Yeah, you can just kind of make it like part of the plan so he doesn't like be paying too much attention. You just back up to the plane, load up some stuff, and yeah, you can just throw him in the back. So who's driving the Jeep?
I can drive.
We'll have Jess drive and Amber as shotgun.
Okay. And then, is anybody gonna try to be swapping out with Tori? Like every couple hours so he doesn't freeze? Or is this all Tori?
I mean, I would, but one, I'm not supposed to care, and two, I'm not a good driver, so.
Both are valid reasons to not.
I could
I would
switch out
also
with him.
imagine that Morthos isn't entirely sure how vehicles work. Just depending on how sheltered of a life he has had with this cult, but I
Well,
would imagine
quite
this is a
possibly never
fairly
set
new
on
thing.
I mean, we've got
He's
Zigzag
really
also.
excited about the sports car, you know.
The only thing Morthos knows about driving is that vehicles require a sacrifice of liquefied dinosaurs.
Yep, that's about it.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
I don't want my character, my assistant character, to freeze. So if nobody else would switch out with Tori, I would.
Okay. So
If
you
needed, Amber can also, although I don't know how well she'd be able to drive and use the screwdriver.
well, the screwdriver
Why
you
would
don't
you
have
need
to
to
use
use
for.
this screwdriver?
For like tracking signal, because if there's supposedly a faint signal there, and
I mean, you can always pull over and stuff when you're doing your kind of checks. So I'm not gonna make that an issue.
Yeah.
So you guys head out. Who's driving the Jeep first? Is that Amber?
Jess.
I was driving it first.
Okay, so I'll have you make your drive check. Amber, you can go ahead and roll. We'll say you can roll the electronics because you're like following the beacon from your screwdriver.
That's a +4 and.
Okay. So you begin to make the trek across the country.
So many ones.
With a 4, you basically make your way about halfway. When you get to kind of an area where just ahead of you, the ground looks to be unsafe. It's cracked a little bit, and you can see just kind of the water beyond kind of lapping up over the tops of the ice.
Well, that doesn't seem safe. Can we find a way to go around it?
You can. It kind of looks like that. So this is going to be a survival check.
Am I good at survival? I am not good at survival. Is there somebody who actually is good at survival in our group? Or do I have to do it because I'm driving? Because if I'm doing it,
I
we're all
imagine
gonna
like
die.
you pull over because like. It's
oh
like,
yeah, I pull over
end of
for
the road.
sure. For sure, I pull over. And I make sure I am parked on a safe area. But I am not trained in survival, so if I have to roll that, we're all gonna die.
So you would think with me being the intelligence guy, or at least one of the intelligence guys, and survival being an intelligence skill, which I have somehow managed to miss that entirely, if I had actually put any ranks into it, I'd be pretty good at it. But I did not, so I think I don't even technically have it as a skill.
You have a -2 for whatever it would be.
So let's see. Where's your
So I theoretically would be good if I was trained at it, but I'm not. I do have 5 experience, and if you're willing to have me sacrifice a number of style points to be able to suddenly have an epiphany.
Well, that's a fair trade. I'd say if you want to give 2 style points and then you can experience yourself up in the survival skill, I would not say no.
Okay,
Because
I'll drop down. You said 2?
two styles, and you can
Okay.
spend some ability score, some experience.
Okay, so to make it a 0, I would need to put 2 experience points or 1.
It's 2 times the new level, so it'd be 1 experience to buy it as untrained. Am I right, Rebecca? Is that how we did it?
Um,
Let me see.
it's 2 times the new level, so it's 1 experience point for level 0.
That's what I was remembering.
Yeah.
Would you be fine if I burned 3 experience to have 1 rank in it?
Yes, if you have the
Okay.
experience to do so, you may.
Yeah, I had 5 on me. So I'll do that. That way we don't all effing die here.
Oh yeah, this is
I
yeah.
can still roll over this. Yeah. Like, oh wait, did I not? Hold on, I didn't actually fix the thing. I don't think.
Yeah, go ahead and fix it and then reroll. So it should be
A 5.
Yeah, you have to. It doesn't automatically do that last one.
Yeah,
so
I
reroll.
forgot. Sorry.
No problem. Reroll.
4.
That's much better. So you kind of open the door of the Jeep, standing up on the edge of the chair and kind of surveying the area in front. It's not as light out as in these pictures because it is kind of the dusk time period. But you begin to kind of plot your way through some of the safe ice to drive on. I imagine you being you tell Tori to like go out on the lighter vehicle and like test your path to see if it's like gonna work. And it does.
Yeah, right. Is a me thing to do.
So
Yeah.
so Tori kind of like gently hits the gas and kind of goes across the ice, makes it. No incidents happen, and then the Jeep kind of like starts to slowly chug along. Um, it is you're just rounding the bend and you're getting closer and closer to where the beacon is. And as you're about to kind of cross over the top of that mountain there is a moment where there's a crack and Tori yelps a little bit. And his snowmobile begins to kind of sink to the left a little bit, kind of banking down, almost like the ice is giving away. He is going to make his basically dexterity check. That'd be acrobatics. So he like jumps off the snowmobile, but it's still like sinking.
Does the Jeep maybe have like a hook that we might be able to just like hook to it or something?
Yep, it's definitely that type of a Jeep. So yes, it does have like a tow cable and stuff.
Can we toss it to Tori to have him put it on there?
Yep. As you're beginning to do so, roll perception.
Everyone?
If Jess is the one throwing the anchor out, the rope, then it'll just be her.
Okay.
Because
I'm not bad at perception.
Yeah. So you see from where the ice is breaking, 2 large leopard seals. They're beginning to like come up from under the ice, but they're still beneath the surface. But where Tori is kind of like standing on. If you imagine kind of, I guess we'll use the bottom map because that's where the actual broken.
Can I get a gun out like right now and shoot at it? Like
roll initiatives.
Oh boy. We're fighting wildlife.
The Jeep is kind of like off to the side, not so much in danger of that.
So you're gonna have to add mine to the initiative tracker.
What'd you roll?
Really low for my character, a 3.
Okay, you're all basically.
Everyone's getting a 3.
Not
Except for
Zigzag.
The
Yes.
last game, didn't we all like roll the same initiative too?
Yeah, basically.
Hold on, I need to actually get these stats out. Initiative 5.
So the jeep is safely off to the side then, yeah?
Yeah, your survival check made it so that your jeep is not in danger. Okay, Zigzag, what is your initiative score?
It is 7.
Okay, so you get to go before the leopard seals. I'm gonna imagine that Jess is probably like makes a shout or something, so at least the party's aware.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do in this situation. If that crashed, my bot is gonna crash.
Leopard seals are not, like, friendly animals
No.
at all.
But do we want my bot to shoot through the ice?
I'm gonna shoot through the ice if your bot doesn't.
Very carefully.
That is so risky.
Does anyone have armor-piercing rounds?
Did we get armor-piercing rounds?
Unfortunately, no, because you requisitioned it like a couple hours before you boarded the plane.
Well, if nothing else, we can hopefully get them for next time.
You know, I mean, if I have my drone on me, I'm just gonna drone up into the sky and just watch it.
Did I not give you your
Watch
drone
what
token?
happens.
I think.
He was on the other map, but not this one.
Let me go get him.
I don't know how well the drones will do in cold. I was just about to say, we could have probably had your drone checking things from above.
Oh, that would have been so smart. Like, getting a path through the ice.
Okay, so you Zigzag, you just kind of lift up your drone, turn it on, just kind of like fly, and it takes off out of the side of the Humvee. Are you making it do anything?
It's just gonna watch.
Okay.
Just gonna, eye in the sky, be able to tell people what's going on.
Okay. Immediately after that's happening, the snowmobile is starting to kind of like sink into the ice, and from where the edges of it's kind of cracking, getting submerged, one of these seals bursts out, leaping towards Tori. He is kind of already prone, and so the attack on him is going to be a little bit. It is bite attack. And then Tori rolls defense. So it sinks into his leg and like takes a chunk out as its sharp razor teeth bite.
Didn't Tori success beat his?
Oh. No, you're right. I got it backwards. I read 5 on 6, but it was like 6 on 5. So no,
Yeah.
he's able to scuttle out of the way as the teeth just kind of chomp chomp. The other one maneuvers itself to the other side, but it looks to be able to like almost like it's going to launch itself out of the ice as well from underneath, but it doesn't go this turn. Now, in order of your guys' turns, everyone else goes on a 3. Do you want to self assign each other, or do you want me to?
I'm going to shoot right now.
Okay. Do you have quick draw?
I said I was getting my gun out before you rolled. You said roll initiative.
Yeah, that initiative
so.
would be basically like that's when you're realizing like crap, I have to have my gun. So that would be when you're drawing it.
I don't think I have quick draw.
Okay. As you're drawing, do you do anything else? Do you drop the hook?
I yell at. Can I actually throw the hook for Tori to attach to the machine?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I mean, we might be able to pull both him and it out at the same time.
Yeah, but leopard seals are vicious and mean and cruel.
Amber will quick draw her gun.
I will say, Jess, if you want to burn a style point, you can take a shot. If you'd rather do that.
I'll burn a style point. I had an extra one.
Okay. I will then. That means you won't have been able to throw the hook. But it would be one or the other. Would Jess go for her gun, or would she try to throw that what she was holding?
I'm more concerned about Tori than I am the machine, so I would take a shot.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the long one, so it would be this one.
Oh, you're shooting with the rifle.
Yeah.
Okay, that hits it, connects solidly with its kind of blubber, and it lets out a very loud shriek, which I don't know what seals sound like, but yeah.
Something like that. But more animal-like.
You can take your style point back. That was very good. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, it is recoils away from Tori's legs. So that's Jess's turn to grab the rifle, drop the cable, but then take a shot. Who wants to go next?
Amber will take a shot as she quick draws her Dragunov.
Okay.
Go off.
I was sitting here like when Adrian asked Becca like if she had quick draw. I'm like, one of us has it, don't they? Someone
Yes,
has
one of us has it.
Okay, so that is another 4.
At some point, I need to pick up Amber a thing for like firing 2 weapons at a time. So that way she just quick draws 2 pistols. And she could just do like a quick reload too. So just have that ultimate combo.
So there's an explosion as the 30-06 just recoils and Jess takes a solid shot into the neck of this seal. And then there's a follow-up shot from just on the other side of the Jeep where Amber is now leaning forward.
It's
so
a
there's just a
silent
crack.
shot.
And yeah, the seal falls down dead on the ice and slowly begins to just kind of like slip back towards the water. That is Jess and Amber. Who else? Who's going next?
I suppose somebody should toss the hook over.
most likely.
Tori's probably gonna crawl towards the Jeep. Doctor or Morthos?
I guess I shall. How many seals did you say they were? Because it's a
There's one more which is underneath the ice. It looks like it's about to spring forwards and try to grab Tori.
okay. Can you hold actions in this like D&D?
If you want to. What are you wanting it to do?
Oh yeah, I just want to hold actions like when I see it come out of the ice, then I shall attack it.
Okay, it looks like it's about to. So if you want to just do that action now, it's basically close enough to the surface, and the ice is like the kind where it's been broken apart and it's just like little chunks floating in the water. So you can see it like about to like spring out. So if you want to go ahead, you can.
Since there is water around, I'm just gonna like water strike it.
Okay. So roll your. It's the crap. I can't think of the skill. It's
Ritual magic?
ritual magic. Yes, thank you. Okay. And this one.
Meow, meow, meow.
Oh wait, no, it doesn't get its full defense against magic. Hold on 1 second. I have to reroll that. So it just gets its body, which is not 7 or 8, it's 3. So, what Morthos does, are you holding your grimoire while you're casting, right? When you're chanting in
Yes.
Latin. So you hold out your hand, speaking in this dead language, and the water kind of, the ice is like flowing around, and as soon as the leopard seal kind of like launches itself out to try to go after Tori again, shards of the ice kind of like reform themselves into like spikes and close in almost like a necklace around the seal and kind of pierce it from all sides, and it yelps. It is not dead, but there's ice stabbing through its neck in multiple spots.
Oh.
Well,
If that didn't kill it.
Okay. So that's Morthos. Doctor, anything from you?
Well, I got two options. One, try to help, or two, make the situation far worse. So, I'm gonna try to help. I'm gonna try tossing him the hook.
Okay. So the doctor jumps out, kind of like hustles around to the front, grabs the hook, and just slingshots it almost.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Okay. Go ahead and roll athletics.
I would like to use 2 style points because I suck at athletics.
Okay.
I should not be doing anything with athletics.
Are you trying to just throw it in the vicinity by the snowmobile, or actually like try to grab
Yeah.
onto it? If you're just trying to throw it, those are two different things. So if you're trying to just throw it so the anchor like hook is nearby the snowmobile so someone can just attach it, that you can pretty much just do for free because it's just tossing it onto the snow ice there. But if you're trying to like grappling hook the snowmobile, that's what the roll would be for.
Right.
I think if you think you can handle.
Let's see what Lady Luck gives me. Yeah.
So you throw the grappling hook, but it catches the dead seal and kind of like holds it off from falling into the water. So you have now grappled the dead leopard seal.
It looks like we'll have something to eat tonight at least.
Okay, so that is Zigzag next. Or it should
They got this covered, right?
Just gonna fly the drone around.
Yeah.
Okay, make a perception check with your plus. Is it the camera on the drone is a +2, isn't it?
I don't
I
remember.
think it is. Yeah, just roll with a +2. That makes sense to me.
Perception, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's dark. I don't think your drone necessarily has like a night vision element to it, but you can see, even with a 2, kind of a big shadow going underneath the ice from like this direction, coming towards this direction.
Oh no, I would shout that out for sure. Big shadow coming under the ice. Might want to hurry. Get this done with. Just leave.
Okay. Jess, I think it was you first. Actually, it's the
is
harbor
it-
sealed. This order is not right. Basically, the one with the ice in its neck is going to. It already kind of jumped out onto the ice. I think at this point, however, it's going to start trying to like retreat and jump back into the water. It doesn't like being stabbed in the neck. But as it's disappearing down, then Jess would be able to go.
Can I shoot it?
Yeah.
Boo. Bam. Hold on. Let me actually get my thingy. Bam.
And this is the second time he's been attacked, so. Yeah, you just blow its brains out as it slips into the water. There's a big chunk of red and fat like scatters over the rest of the ice. 30-odd 6 is very good.
And it's on the ice?
No, this one fell into it, but the brain went past the hole in the ice and is splattered over the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they're
How
dead.
close to that shadow, Zigzag?
Zigzag, you can see it looks to be coming closer.
Oh, it's coming closer. It's a big boy.
How much time do you think we got?
How much time do I think we got?
Couple seconds.
Couple seconds.
Amber's gonna start pulling. Do we want to try to save the snowmobile, or do we want to get the fuck out?
I think the snowmobile would be good to have. I mean...
Can Tori get over there within the time we have?
Tori looks to be running, trying to crawl back towards the Jeep. Do you guys want to tell him to not do that?
If he's close enough to the snowmobile to get it hooked,
He's like halfway.
And let's see. What is? You said athletics to throw.
Oh. I can't see anything. I was on the top screen the whole time, not being able to see what was going on.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because my screen is small and I can't see anything.
Oh my god, there's a bottom screen.
See.
Sorry.
Oof.
So, if no one's telling Tori to go back, he's going to continue to go forward.
Amber will call. Hey Tori, if you think you can get the hook onto the snowmobile,
But the seals!
they're dead.
Roll a persuasion check, or it would be diplomacy, I suppose.
The seals are in fact dead, Tori.
You can roll with a +2 because Jess is shouting that. Okay, that's enough for him to stop and kind of like look back and see the snowmobile starting to like slip in, and like the back tread is now like getting wet. He will begin to start to go back over.
Can we point to where the hook is and have him get that?
Yeah, he goes and he's starting to like unhook it out of the seal. Zigzag, roll a perception check again.
Sure.
Can I get in? I tell Tori once he got the snowmobile hooked, get on and buckle up, and I get in the Jeep. Can I get ready to like move it pretty quickly?
Yes, you may.
Amber tells everyone pile in now.
Okay. Looking from the drone down, you see the big shape of this whale just swallow the dead seal that Jess just shot the brains out of. So it goes chomp, chomp, and kind of swims down for a little bit. So yes, you were correct. This is an orca whale, except I can't grab this token now.
That was comforting. Could have been.
And I believe the other one is sinking into the water now.
Yes, because Tori has just let that one loose, and he's now attaching it to the bike. So Jess, you are able to kind of just turn on the Jeep and hit reverse and start cranking it and pulling out the snowmobile. Tori jumps on like you told him to and starts to kind of gas it and through the ice that's melting. And in the background, just behind, you can see through the drone, Zigzag, the orca just swallows the other body that's now in the water. Chomp. And that kind
Convenient.
of finishes up the lake as you're able to kind of drive over the crest up back onto the mountains where Dr. Desdimona plotted for you to get back over to the dig site. Oh, there's the bullet. Natural corpse removal. That's true. So,
Amber would suggest bringing Tori in, and she'll offer to take the snowmobile for a bit.
yeah, Tori's kind of freaked out. He's happy to take your spot. Except he'll sit in the back of the Jeep, actually. So whoever else takes shotgun.
The robot was in the back.
Yeah, there's 3 seats in the back, and then the very, very back is where the robot is.
Oh.
Unless Zigzag wants to sit in the back without a belt.
No. No. Yeah, my robot can securely stay there. He's
Okay.
a robot. He'll be fine.
Okay. So you proceed on your path without too much more incident. You're getting closer and closer to the dig site, and then as Amber, you're checking with your screwdriver and stuff to try to check where, like, how close you are getting. You're definitely getting a strong sense that you're getting closer to whatever tech this is. You pull up. So go ahead.
Probably don't want to be like right next to it, like in the middle of the night. So do we want to camp before we encounter this, or no?
Not a worst idea.
So there's your stuff. So you get to the point basically where you're very close to the dig site. I will need to know, yeah, if you want to just kind of like set camp up here, or you're getting to the top of the crater. How do you want to proceed? Do you just want to go in and find the entrance next?
I mean, if we camp, I can set Zigbot to guard mode.
Yeah, you can. It's very dark and very cold outside of the Jeep, so it's pretty much at this point, if you wanted to all kind of bunker inside the Jeep and leave the snowmobile outside, it's not really sustainable to be on it in the very, very middle of the night. So if you all set camp here, Zigbot can go outside of the Jeep, so if you wanted to have him kind of be on the lookout, I will have probably Zigzag roll the perception check on behalf of Zigbot, unless Zigbot has a character sheet. I can't remember.
There is one, however, it says unfinished.
Then I did not finish it, so roll on your check, your character sheet.
4.
Okay. Through the night, the only thing that the Zigbot notices is just something very similar to the northern lights overhead, just kind of glimmering, kind of neon greens and blue hues, and just kind of like fizzling over the sky. There's stars.
Keywords very similar too.
Yes, there's stars out, but otherwise the illumination is very minimal.
It's so beautiful. Zigbot sheds one single oily tear.
Oily.
For the Omnisaya.
Zigzag gets a stat point because that was funny.
Yes.
The night passes, maybe not super comfortably, but you're all able to kind of like angle the chairs back as much as you can, so you're like almost like squishing each other.
So
But
before
fine.
setting up camp, Amber would have covered up the snowmobile.
Okay, just with like a tarp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think throughout the night, like as like they're just sitting there waiting for the time to pass, maybe taking naps or something. Ambrose would start to wonder questions and be like, I wonder if like the ship, like if its systems got messed with by the borealis, if like the magnetic fields of that caused it to lose its its plotting, or what, like did it crash here on purpose, like
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, aliens.
See, it's funny because my whole like just base assumption off of this mission was it was going to be something with aliens.
Actually, that's a good point. I think Morthos, you'd wake up in the middle of the night actually, because as Zigbot is crying a single oily tear, you just get the sense that there's something above you in the sky somewhere.
Oh, crud.
What do? It's dark out. You hear kind of like it's probably really fogged up a little bit in here because the Jeep is, even though you've got the fans on and stuff, like there's 5 people sleeping in the car. But like your thermals are on and you kind of like turn around and you get the sense there's something out there, something above you.
I would try to be not like quiet, but just like, hey, is anyone awake? I think there's something kind of like near us outside.
I'm gonna roll a d20 to see if
roll,
Amber is awake or
roll,
not.
roll an initiative, 3 or higher. You can wake up. How about that?
That's fair.
we're not rolling into anything, are we?
No, it's just rolling onto the chat tracker.
Okay.
You just hear Tori like whisper, "What?"
Yeah, why not? I'll
Can
see
I
if
also roll?
wake up.
Yeah,
Can I
everyone
also
can roll
roll
just
it?
to see. 3 or higher, you can wake up. So far, everybody's
Hearing
awake.
that, Amber just grabs a gun. It's like, what's happening?
Jess is just very awake.
She
I've
was.
been very aware of somebody snuggling up to me in the middle of the night. Just,
Listen, Zigbot gets lonely.
I don't know.
Out there patrolling.
I don't know who it was, but there was somebody snuggling up to me in the middle of the night.
Okay. And Morthos, that presence is just still there.
Can I like? Is it close to us or?
You can sense it's in the sky somewhere. It doesn't feel like
Okay.
it's like super close, but it's kind of like on the vicinity of your reach.
Yeah. So yeah.
Amber
So
will
I'm like, there's something spooky. It's above us.
So Amber will actually. I feel like Amber would have been like sleeping in the way back.
Okay.
Basically, when Zigbot got out, she climbed in and just curled up with a blanket.
Yeah, it's probably the more spacious portion. The front seats can recline back a little bit, but the bench seats are kind of like the most uncomfortable part.
I think Ambrose would be like, I was actually kind of craving a cigarette anyways.
So Amber will kind of open the trunk and step out.
Okay.
And gaze up at the sky, like rifle in hand.
Okay. You see what Zigbot sees. On his kind of like sensor, if Zigzag's looking down at his like iPad or whatever, you just see the Aurora Borealis shimmering brightly above you. Very expansive.
Amber is going to, like, just an instinct thing, like try the screwdriver with it. Because if Morthos says that there's something weird, then maybe she can get some kind of reading on it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an electronics check.
+4.
Okay. Now roll a supernatural lore check.
Because I'm great at those.
Your sensor, as you're holding it up to kind of like see, it seems to begin to go kind of like the light where the crystal is that the doctor had kind of requisitioned. It's clear normally, and it seems to almost like brighten up, like pulse with energy as you're trying to like get a sense for up there. Then the crystal explodes. Amber, I need you to roll a was it dexterity? Just roll your defense is fine.
Well, shit.
So you get knocked down into the ground from the kind of force of the crystal just kind of like imploding, and then this force of energy knocks you down. And then the Aurora Borealis, or the Alpha Borealis, begins to like just shimmer brighter, and then the colors all go in every direction across the sky, and it's gone. Morthos,
Guys.
do you sense the presence diminishing, or perhaps splitting apart, or something? But it seems to be gone.
Guys, remember that thing we fought on our first mission? This is just like off the top of our head of what that reminded her of.
You mean the alien egg entity that was invisible?
Yeah, something like that. What if it was a larger thing of that?
Hey, Lizzie. Go take that.
So
Sorry.
like a kaiju Solus.
Can I look up at the Aurora Borealis and roll a supernatural lore as well?
Yeah, you kind of like leaning out the window, looking up. You see kind of it splitting off. So like in the center of this.
Oh no. Sorry, I can't. I didn't get supernatural lore. I got ritual magic is what I got. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
you can.
Would Morthos have the idea with this being said?
You can see looking up though, Jess, where the Aurora Borealis is like covering the whole sky, and in the center it just is like a hole opening in it, and then it just widens out. All the color just kind of like streams out in different directions and disappears.
Does it look like a door?
No.
Like something's gonna come out and try to get us?
No, it looks like a cloud, like someone punched a hole in a cloud, and then all turned into like tendrils going in different directions.
Can I roll like instinct for dangerous and whether or not I can go back to bed?
What are you trying to roll with that?
Can I ask Morthos if this is a dangerous thing, or if we're probably gonna be okay?
So what would I roll?
You'd roll a supernatural lore.
Okay.
So from what you've read up on, especially between like you joining Quantum Black and kind of all your experiences, you can only assume that this is another one of the Alpha Borealises, those almost energy aliens or whatever it is. You don't know what happened with it though. If it's gone, like you don't sense the presence for it anymore. So yes, maybe you're safe.
Possibly,
you don't think it's
maybe.
killed.
So it's not dead, but it's not threatening.
I think
You think he was looking for something?
Morthos, you
Probably a child that we killed and captured.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
From my sources, they can't exactly be killed so easily.
Uh,
so
And as we've learned from the doctor's mistake, don't use electricity on it.
So Amber, are you like getting up and still like outside, or are you inside the truck again?
She was outside when that happened.
Okay. Are you going back in or hanging out on the outside?
She's probably gonna be out there for another minute or so.
Okay.
If the doctor is out there smoking, she'll say, "Hey Doc, looks like we need a new crystal here.
Yeah.
That one you got for me, the screwdriver, kind
Yeah,
of an old
when he sees that it's broken, his eyes go wide and go, "Oh no, I don't think they're gonna trust us with another one of those for a while."
Yeah. So Amber, do you still have your old crystal? You can like reattach to it, but the white one's shattered.
Mm-hmm.
so, note to self for the future journal. Don't have Amber point her flashlight at aliens. Noted.
So the night is cold. The doctor and Amber, as you're standing outside, the wind's chill begins to come through, and even though your suits are like have heat inside them, you can feel that the biting is like getting to your face, and your skin's almost going to be numb if you don't go back inside.
Amber would like go back in as soon as she
Yeah.
after she told the doc is like that. Hey, by the way.
Yeah. So you don't have to roll a body check for that yet. You can just go back inside and kind of get out of the place. But from then, Doctor, are you going to stay outside and stuff, or just finish your smoke and get back in?
Yeah, he's not gonna like linger. He's like, if anything, I think that like while that was going on, he was like taking pictures on his phone or whatever. That way maybe it can be cross-referenced later if we need it for something else. And then yeah, he'll just like super smoke a cigarette as fast as he can and get back inside.
Okay.
Honestly, I just see the doctor like smoking it in the car because he doesn't care that we're in there.
He would, but he also like I don't know if you've ever been in a hot box vehicle with like nicotine. Um, it's not that like he's worried about you guys. It's just that that would suck for him.
So pretty much, unless you guys want to do anything, do you just leave the car kind of in on battery mode where you're just keeping the fan on and heat and not driving anywhere?
Yep.
Okay. So the night passes then.
I think if anything, every once in a while we might turn the engine on and like rev the engine a little bit to run the alternator so that we don't kill the battery.
Yeah, it's got its own kind of like generator pack to be able to run without too much inconvenience. And from that, basically, like the morning comes, nothing else happens of interest unless you guys make something happen. But
Is somebody snuggling against me?
oh, which chair are you sitting in?
Probably on the window side of the bench.
If you're in the bench,
robotic hand gently caresses your face.
I don't think it's a robotic hand.
Okay. Who's sitting in the middle seat?
Don't know.
Amber's sitting in the trunk, like kind of like more laid back in the trunk.
So let's figure this out. I imagine Doctor's in like the co-pilot's chair. Zigzag, are you in the bench or?
Maybe I was in the driver's seat because I had been driving. But I have it reclined.
Yeah, Amber's in the trunk. Zigbot's patrolling still, right? He's outside.
Yeah, Zigbot's still doing his thing.
Okay. So Tori and Morthos, are you guys in the middle?
I suppose.
I have a question. When we all got out of the vehicle, did Tori get out too?
No.
Okay. No, then never mind. I'll just go back to wherever I was. I was gonna say if he was outside, I would have given him the like, you want to switch spots look, But like, if he wasn't out there, then I'm not gonna.
No, Tori was scared to go outside after what happened, so missed opportunity. But he's not. Yeah. So
Okay. No, I
probably
think I might be
nobody.
in the driver's seat then.
Yeah, you're safe from snuggles from unwanted people. Um, the morning comes. It's not bright, but the temperature lifts a little bit. I don't know if actually that makes any sense or not, but you don't have to like worry about it with your thermals. So you are on the hillside of the crater. What do you all want to do?
Alright, you said we made it to the crater?
Okay. Do you go on foot or do you want to try to drive up over the edge with the truck?
Amber will take the snowmobile to check to see if the truck can make it.
Okay. Roll a drive check.
Right.
Okay. The snowmobile gets to the top and just kind of barely climbs the last of the height, and you mount the top looking down, and it's almost like an excavated site. Looking down into the crater, you can see that there's some machinery still even kind of left in here, all covered with ice, but it's like someone hollowed it out, kind of made kind of a pad at the bottom. There's a little bit of a crane and a couple different like crates and stuff. There's a ledge where you could drive the snowmobile down into the crater as well, but the Jeep would be tough.
How far away is the Jeep from the crater?
It's at the base. It's probably like a 30-foot climb at an angle, which the Jeep could probably make. The top would be the hardest part, and then from there, once you get over the lip, there's kind of like a trail that goes down. The snowmobile can make no problem. The Jeep would be having to like be very careful, just because of how narrow it is.
So Amber will like text that back to the others.
It's probably best to leave the Jeep here.
Okay, so does Jess, and I presume taking Tori with her, go and just kind of hike it up? It's only 30 feet, but it's an incline, so you probably would have to use like your trekking poles, or you use your rifle as like a as walking stick.
Yeah. What I might suggest is when Amber, before she can spend a style point, to have Amber had brought up a rope.
Sure. Yeah.
We could always use the pulley system from the Jeep. That
Yeah.
way, like, if we need to, like, haul something out of here, we can just hook it to that and then use the links.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
basically put the hook on the back of the snowmobile, and Amber can grab that up.
Yeah. So you can just kind of gun it and go up, and then the rope is already there, so you can follow along hiking up the incline with the rope if you want. Do you want to try to pull the Jeep up with the winch, or do you just want to still leave it on the lower side of the crater?
We'll get to that when we get. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. So kind of leave the Jeep down for now, and everybody goes up on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like have the hook secured at the top.
Okay. So I don't have a picture for it, but imagine a big opening, like a crater, except it's all like kind of ice chunks on the walls. The lower portion has been leveled out. It's relatively flat. There's even kind of like pallets and stuff kind of making a platform, which there is a crane built in. It's not that high. It's probably like 20 feet tall only, but then the nozzle's over an opening, like an excavation site. You can see that there's kind of a leaned-in ladder, which is kind of covered with frost, and there's like snow powder covering everything. Again, it's been a while since anybody's been over here. But the crane does have kind of a winch rope, which is retracted all the way up. And then around there's a couple just like boxes which have been left behind. So it's an old abandoned dig site. The trail where Amber is on the snowmobile could just kind of drive down this curving ramp down, following the crater on the inside until you get to the lower portion. But it's only maybe like 5 feet wide, so the Jeep would be having trouble driving down the ramp. But around, you can see that there is a definite central excavation, a hole in the ground, basically.
I feel like Amber might bring the snowmobile down.
Okay, and you just bring the rope with you. It's 30 feet to the top of the crater, and then just kind of like another like 40 or 50 feet around the ramp to do it. So you've got the rope extended about 100 feet. I know that math doesn't make sense, but it is about 100 feet.
I guess I head up.
Okay, yep. So you get to the top of the crater, and you can see all that.
Can I don't know if there's anything I need to do. Like, this is kind of Morthos area. I just maybe have my gun out in case I need it for anything. Reload it.
Okay. So yeah, you have it topped off, ready, and you've got your 30-06, right?
Yeah, the long range one right now.
Okay. So you descend down. You can see there's the crane and then kind of the boxes. Amber's driven the snowmobile down. Kind of it sputters to a halt. I see Morthos typing.
Oh yeah, so there was a lot. So see, before we had started the game, my dumbass thought it would be a great idea to dye my hair.
Oh, you okay?
It said I could leave it in for like 2 hours because it doesn't have like chemicals in it. It's like vegan hair dye. But yeah, like I am at that 2 hour limit, so I just really need to go like rinse my hair out like as quick as I possibly can.
Do
No
we
worries.
want to take
Is
a quick break here?
is it
Yeah.
Manic Panic?
No, it's with unicorn something.
Oh, okay.
What color?
It's a very light purple. It was close to the purple that I had it recently, so I think it'll work. It's like a lavender.
Nice.
I know with Manic Panic, it's conditioner based. It's actually good the longer you leave it in your hair.
Yeah, that's what this is like too. It's similar, except it only comes in like really cute like pastel colors or something that's kind of like bright. Like they had like this like berry purple too.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you need to go take care of that, we are about at the 2-hour mark. Do you want to call it here at the edge of the the dig site, or do you want to like take a pause break, or we can just keep playing and Morthos will be on NPC mode?
I was supposed to say like I can keep going if everyone else was like to. I just need to,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
take a break for like a good like 10, 15.
How about everyone else? Do you want to keep going for tonight, or do you want to?
I can keep going.
I can keep going, but yeah, we're gonna need to take a pause there.
Yeah. How about
Well,
Pie Guy and?
I can keep going.
Okay. Well, let's take a 15-minute break then. Doctor, are you good to play for a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Cool. So let's take a 15-minute, and then it's 9:20 right now almost. Let's maybe check back at like 9:30, 9:35, something like that, Pacific Standard Time, and we'll go from there. So I'll mute the stream or recording, and we'll come back in a little bit. And we are back. The party is standing kind of at the top of this crater where you can look down and see the old dig site. And I believe Amber has driven the snowmobile down into the dig site, and Jess is beginning to descend, and everyone else is still kind of at the crest. The Jeep is parked outside the crater on the outskirts of the dig site, but you've used the rope to kind of like bring everything in. So what do you all want to do now?
Amber would be checking out, like starting to check out the crates.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check. Okay. As you get down to them, you begin to try to like lift them open, and they are frozen solid. You are not able to get the opening to like the lid to open up.
She would look for some kind of thing she could leverage it, or break the ice if it's sealed with ice.
Yep. Go ahead and you can just roll. I guess what would that be? Just athletics. Yeah, roll an athletics check, and you can just use like the butt of your rifle to try to like break off all the ice and loosen the crate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not too bad considering that's all she has.
Yeah, you're able to kind of crack the ice off of one, and you're able to kind of get to it, and you can see that they have code locks on them. It's like a pin code, like 6 digits.
We still have those bolt cutters.
Do you want someone in the Jeep to check? Uh-oh, Becca's very scratchy sounding.
Sure.
Very choppy there.
I was gonna say someone's connection is fucky.
I think the Alpha Borealis got to Becca's
Be mind
microphone.
reply.
Can you say that again?
I'm here.
Oh, it's all of us.
Yeah, do we still have those bolt cutters? If not, Amber will basically pull out.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Hello? I think we're back. Sorry about that. Our internet flickered. It went Becca first, then me. Can you all hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can. Yeah, I think we're both
I
back.
was asking if I was there because if I was there and I saw a lock, it's only natural that I would,
Yeah, well,
open it.
I'm like imagining you guys are all like going down. And just nobody's actually told me that they went down except for Amber. So if you want to go down there and take a look at it, yeah, it's a 6-digit code. You can get down and examine it.
Before Amber shoots the lock off or breaks it off.
So Jess gets there probably before you do that, because she already rolled, and Jess starts to take a crack at it, and it takes a couple minutes, but you're able to kind of get the code cylinder to just click open. It's still kind of frozen shut, but another bash of the rifle butt kind of dislodges it. Inside, you can find a whole bunch of computer tech. It's like a giant system of some sort. There's a lot of different budget. It almost looks like a soundboard. but there's a whole bunch of different buttons, different layers of buttons, and all that kind of stuff.
This looks like it could be useful. Are there any other crates nearby?
Yes, there's two more crates, 3 total.
Can I pick the locks for those as well?
Yep, go ahead. Tori would descend down into the crater at this point as well. He's carrying
Welcome.
bags of gear. So go ahead and roll another larceny if you're wanting to try to crack into this one. The second crate seems to be a different type of lock, and you can't seem to quite get the number codes to match up.
You can shoot this one off.
Okay. She'll pull out her handgun and shoot it.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll a shot from the gun.
Yep. I just gotta find it here. I'm assuming it's not some kind of electrical lock on it, on any of them.
Not that you could really tell. Okay. There's a crack, which kind of sounds through the little crater area, and the sparks shoot out from the lock, and it drops to the ground.
Hey Jess, I can pick locks too.
Your lockpicking is very loud. You'd get caught right away.
Yeah, just a bit. She grins as she opens the crate.
Yeah.
Can
Inside,
I lockpick the other one?
Yep, you go to the third crate. Inside the second one, there appears to be infrastructure to create a large antenna. They can be screwed in together and basically make something that's 20 to 25 feet tall, sticking straight up, and like a four-legged tower. It almost looks like a phone line's could be attached to it or something at the top. The third crate opens up, and inside you can find a whole bunch of like specimen casings and more scientific gear. There's a whole bunch of like gloves and like science outfit, like the gear you can put over yourself so you don't get contaminated or contaminate the scene with your own DNA or that type of stuff. It's all like mostly boxed and packaged and just kind of left behind. There's the specimen containers are all empty. They look like it's all unused at this point.
Let's get Zigzag down here and have him start setting up the equipment that they left behind here. Let's see what else we can find here at the abandoned dig site.
I can do that.
Okay. So, as you descend down Zigzag, you notice the Zigbot is kind of like unstable a little bit, descending down this kind of icy, like driveway down to the inside of the crater. He doesn't fall or anything, but it's kind of a little slippery. Your drone just kind of like hovers around. It's all good. You get down to the bottom. You can see kind of inside the crates and whatnot. Okay, which thing? The antenna or like working through the wires and soundboard type thing?
Antenna or sound?
Or do you want to work just do the science stuff? That's just a bunch of like unused equipment there. What was Amber thinking?
Possibly starting with getting the antenna up and then checking out the soundboard.
Yeah, I was thinking antenna myself as well.
Okay, so you start to get to work on the antenna, kind of like figuring it out. That's going to be you can, for that one, it would actually be more of like a mechanics check, or what would that be?
If it's mechanics, then Amber will help with the...
Yeah, I feel like you can roll, why am I not seeing it? What skills do you have that you think would fit?
Craft?
Do you have a craft?
Yeah. Craft mechanics.
Okay, so I'm looking at the wrong character sheet, that's why. So yeah, you can go ahead and roll if you want to have Zigzag. If you want to like basically be helping him and you do it together, then we'll just
Yeah.
use Amber's roll maybe, because your craft is not that good.
Okay, so what am I rolling here? Mechanics plus.
It's a +2 because of Zigzag's help.
We'll have Zigbot assist with holding things as needed.
Yep. Okay. Dr. Desdimona and Morthos, where are you guys at this point? You can see two of the party is like assembling this tower.
I kind of want to see like if I notice anything like specific that's spooky around.
So you can sense in the sky somewhere around. You do sense more of the either the or they, or not sure if they're singular or multiples, but you can sense that there are Alpha Borealises around, and so in the sky they're not close, but they're kind of like they were yesterday, just kind of like hovering, and then now today being daytime, they're kind of like flourishing through the sky, like moving around. Are you still at the top of the crater? Because that would, you can sense them strongest if when you're at the top of the crater.
Yeah, I would think.
Okay.
Let's
So
go with that.
So you're hanging out at the top. That means you also have line of sight on the Jeep. It looks okay. Nothing really going on down there. What about the doctor?
I think he would probably just be like watching what everyone's doing and keeping an eye like on the surrounding area, making sure that nothing crazy is going on.
Okay.
I'm probably doing the same from the bottom. Like, just they're doing some stuff. I'd probably just keep my gun out and chill out.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing to shoot. Maybe like stay concealed.
Okay. You kind of like sit down, take cover, kind of maybe by the crane. The two people, both Amber and Zigzag, kind of get the antenna mounted. It's about 25 feet tall. It's got a ladder kind of built into it, which they have to climb on to keep assembling the next rods. But once it's built, there's kind of like a wire which kind of stretches between the two posts at the top. So it's almost like a pincer, and the wire going between them. You're not sure if it's supposed to be disconnected or not, but it looks like it's built to be there. So you attach it. Going back down, there's still the electronics crate, there's the science crate, and then there's the big opening going down into the dig site.
We'll have Zigzag. Amber will have Zigzag check out the soundboard thing, see what he can make out of that.
Do my best.
And she herself will go check out the science crate. And you said there's hazmat suits in there?
Yeah, they've got like those types of gear. They're almost like there's different versions of them. So you can get hazmat suits that you can wear like within the lab, but they also have the on-site like overall type things that cover you, that even if you're wearing like the cold weather gear, you can cover yourselves with like protective gear on top.
She's gonna check to see how many of those there are.
Okay. There are, of those kind, there's about 10 of them.
Hello?
Hello?
It sounded like it cut out for a second.
There's about 10 of them.
Okay.
Becca, do you see on, real quick, just housekeeping, Discord, do you see where it says video on screen?
Oh, sorry, is it showing?
No, I want you to click on the voice connected button and turn noise suppression on, because I think you have a fan in the background and it's constantly picking up feed.
Oh, sorry.
If you click noise suppression powered by Crisp, I think it is, and then
settings?
just click.
Well, how do I do that?
So right above where it says video or share screen, there should be the voice connected, and then the squiggly lines by the hang up. Click the squiggly
They brought
lines.
the helicopter after all.
That's funny. Do you see it, Becca, or no?
Okay, it's in where?
It's right by the voice connected button. It should say like noise suppression, and then it's on or off.
I'll just turn the fan off. How about that?
Oh, perfect.
The helicopter's landing.
So, yeah, so you can roll a check for the electronic zigzag if you want to do an electronics check on that, and then Amber,
Electronics.
you can roll a science check if you want to kind of go through the gear.
Is that for me or for him?
If Amber's in the science box, then it would be you.
Yeah.
So Zigzag, with a 5, you can tell that there's a generator underneath all of this, so you can kind of get power running up to the site if you wish. You can also tell that a lot of the equipment's fairly sophisticated, but there's a lot of it is like power levels, so you can feed power into the antenna or to other equipment if necessary. And then there's a whole bunch of tech which is just weird. It's not alien specifically, but it's like someone's been trying to like maybe adapt what you guys have here to like alien technology. And there's just it's like a weird section on the board. For Amber, you can tell that there is, like I said, a lot of specimen containers which you can put stuff in, varying sizes, and they're all kind of like stacked all over, so you can get small, medium, large, all within each other. And then there's all the suits. There's the 10 ones you can wear. There are 4 actual full-on hazmat suits that you could bring back to a lab if you wanted to. And with a 4, you also notice that there is one specimen which is kind of some sort of crystal which seems to have grown inside the jar the whole time. It's been sealed and it's contained, but it is unmarked. Becca, you're very loud again.
Well, I think I'd definitely point out the weird alien, not alien stuff.
The more alien stuff, Amber will do a scan with.
Okay.
And that's a 4. There.
Okay. The power, you kind of begin to do some sensory equipment, and nothing seems to really activate or anything more than normal. The board kind of lights up like it's been turned on, but nothing else happens.
Are there any notes here that were left behind?
No. There's
like in
empty
any of the crates?
Yeah, there's empty notebooks, but everything in the science box was not yet used, with the exception of the one jar which had like the crystal in it, which is kind of like taken over everything inside the jar and grown.
Amber will carefully set that back in the crate and make sure it's secure. And thinks I will come back to that.
Okay.
Though thinking about it, she might want to put it somewhere where they can access it easier.
Okay.
And like remember it.
So where are you gonna put it?
If there's like a padded crate or a padded case anywhere in this stuff, she's going to.
You've got your Jeep and snowmobile, but the stuff here is not like, they're containers, but they're not going to be like.
Right.
Yeah.
She's basically gonna put it in the Jeep and make sure it's in a safe padded area to where it won't get damaged, so where the container won't break.
Okay, so you store it
So
up
actually
in the Jeep.
go one step further, put the small container into a larger container and seal that.
Okay.
Just for good measure.
Okay, so you take this used sample.
Just takes a small jar, puts it in a bigger one, and seals it. Just because don't know how secure it is.
Okay.
And not knowing what it is, it's better to be safe than sorry.
So once that's kind of like done and you're headed back over, did you guys turn the generator on or no?
I think I probably would have turned it on if we had power for it.
Okay. So there are some lights and stuff like on stands that kind of turn on when you do so. There's kind of the hum of the generator running. Nothing else seems to happen until Morthos, you get kind of sense standing on the edge of the crater at the top. You can sense that the Aurora Borealises, or the Alpha Borealises rather, are beginning to like move in your direction.
Huh. Well, there's nothing else that's noticed, or like anything that feels like it would be hostile, or
When I guess because you've got the ability to kind of sense some things, when Amber kind of goes by carrying the crate, you can tell that whatever's in it doesn't feel right. Like it's not this. It's potentially otherworldly.
This is why Amber wants to get that back to QB.
makes sense.
Okay, so I will need to know basically what you all can want to do. There's going into the dig site inside the tunnels. You could go back with that and go in the Jeep and try to make your way back to the UN base. You could just hang out here, but then like Morthos can tell that the Aurora Borealises or whatever they are, Alpha Borealises, are kind of beginning to close in on the dig site. What are you party wanting to do?
I do have a question in regards to like, the weather and all that. So like how long precisely can we stay out in the weather before it's like too cold for us to continue?
Once it gets to be kind of like the nighttime hours is when the temperature is dropping. So long as you're in quote daylight unquote, your thermal suits are keeping you warm enough. So
Okay.
like you can be up here for like basically the whole day until it's the dusk portion. Even though it's already dark, it's mechanically that's how it's working. You have like 12 hours.
So we have a soundboard type of thing.
It's like a whole bunch of buttons and stuff. Buttons and switches and stuff like that, which you turned on with your screwdriver. The buttons are all kind of glowing different colors and seem to be kind of like rotating based off of frequencies, or if you move switches or dials around, they seem to like change colors and rotate, but there's no way to really like read what they're supposed to do from your end.
It would have been nice if they left a user's guide, but let's see what we can do. Amber will check out the sound station, wherever it is itself.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and see if the screwdriver is any help with this particular thing.
You just rolled
just
the one.
for kicks.
Did you already roll, or is that an old one?
That's the old one. And for kicks and giggles, we'll go ahead and throw 3 into it.
Okay.
So that goes up to that.
So that should be at a +7.
Yep.
So you kind of look around the board, kind of look underneath it as Zigzag set this up kind of on its like still tripod type thing to hold it up. And as you get down under it, you actually see that there's a dial, or like an opening rather, and you can fit your screwdriver perfectly into this section. Amber does so and kind of clicks it on, rotates it a little bit, and there's a surge of kind of power goes through the board. All of the colors, which are kind of rotating from around everybody, the Doctor, Tori, Morthos, Zigzag, Jess, you can all see kind of the board changing its colors repeatedly until they all start to click green one by one until the whole board is green. And then as soon as you do so, the kind of the wiring that's connected to the antenna, a bolt of energy kind of like arcs through it, and the wire like surges, and power just kind of goes up to the antenna, and you can see kind of on the display screen on the board, kind of a radar scan, and you can tell deep below, underneath the surface, where the dig site is, you can sense that there's something that pings up, and it is, it would say in kind of in a scrawl, alien tech detected, and Morthos. As soon as that happens, the aurora, the alpha borealises begin to like converge at a very quick rate towards the campsite. And I think that's where we're gonna have to stop for today. So that will end part 1 for the dig site episode. We'll have to finish this up next week, and you guys can either go down, or you can stay up, or you can do whatever. But we'll see you all next week.
Have a good night. Had fun.